So here we are, the last hour of HITEC on the exhibit floor, HITEC 2014 here in Los Angeles. Which, by the way, for those of you who follow attendance figures for HITEC, this was the largest HITEC that was in a location other than Orlando. Orlando always gets the biggest attendance. Right. So the crowd was great this year, and even here on our last day, there's a lot of people on the exhibit floor. For a Thursday in California, it's pretty impressive and all that. So I'm here with Jon Inge, and our traditional Siegel says that we always do via hotel online. Today we're going to do live on camera and talk to Jon about his experience here at HITEC. So overview, quick. How would you look at HITEC this year?
Surprisingly busy, considering it's West Coast, but also everything about LA encourages people to come here. The crowds were good, people seem to be in a buying mood, which is nice, lots of really serious interests. A lot of vendors were telling me they really have had very serious business, been closing lots of leads, heavy traffic, which is kind of surprising to me. It's felt a little light to me, but maybe people are just avoiding me, I don't know.
Yeah. And let me just chime in and tell you, the vendors that I talked to, everybody said to me, the quality of people and the amount of people, quantity and quality this year was fabulous. They really were excited about the amount of people that came by. And I'm like you, I walked up and down the aisles and I don't see a million people, but I guess the people are here are shopping.
Yeah, they're shopping and avoiding us because they're not going to buy anything from us.
They're avoiding me?
Who knows?
Okay.
Probably not.
Did you get to go to many of the sessions and all the educational sessions this year?
Got to go to a few. I thought the keynote on Tuesday was absolutely outstanding. Everybody I've spoken to was just blown away by it.
Rachel Botsman was her name, and I got to tell you, that might have been one of the best keynotes that HITEC ever had.
I would agree.
Good.
Yeah.
And you know, it was nice to see somebody who's presenting who actually knew who was in the audience versus the canned, presentations.
Right, she was doing it exactly to the right audience, made it appropriate, and really opened up everybody's mind. So everybody I've spoken to has been thinking about where to take this, all the collaboration she was talking about, into systems, connectivity, where it's going in terms of society, how much we're all sharing everything. In fact, one man I was talking to had this great idea, following up on Airbnb. He said, if I'm in a hotel room and it's twin beds and I'm there, why don't I put my spare bed up on Airbnb and rent that out, sublet it while I'm at the hotel?
Interesting. Yeah, I mean, the whole Airbnb, it's nice to see Airbnb addressed to the level that she addressed it at too.
Right.
That was really nice.
But also taking it beyond that to sharing everything else.
Yes, yeah. It's kind of scary too how big that company, some of the companies she talked about, not just Airbnb, I talked about how grown and all that. Though I got to admit, when she brought up Borrow My Dog, that hit home right away. She says, there are people out there that are single, that travel, and that they always want to get a dog, but they can't get one. Now there's people in London that launched Borrow My Dog. Right,
and here's another thought. Kimpton has for years been able to lend you a goldfish in your room if you want a pet while you're in town.
Right, yeah.
Why not make it a kitten or a dog as well? Or a horse. You could borrow your horse, for instance. Another revenue stream for you. You may as well make money out of it somehow.
Well, I'm making money the way I'm doing it right now. So that's very good. What about the, were there any other sessions that you kind of have stood out, and as you look back on those you went to?
Not so much. It's a good practical experience. I did, of course, know you're plugging your CIO as a CMO matrimonial expertise. Yeah. But that was a good. It was very indicative to me of how things have changed and how much of a partnership there is between the technical people and the marketing people these days. It's not competitive. They both understand it's very collaborative. Yeah,
plug not even intended. The fact that we had so diverse panelists up there, from a very small company to a limited service company to a high-end destination resort. I mean, resorts. That was pretty cool. It was eye-opener in a lot of ways. It really was. I'm glad to have they all came in to do that. Yeah. It was pretty good. So, and there'll be a video on our website of the opening that you referred to. Our little tomfoolery. It went over pretty well too. They all liked it. All that kind of stuff. Yeah. Were there any trends or anything that you experienced while you were here, as far as the technology goes, that you thought might be imminent, or maybe will be bigger, or will make an impact down the road the next year or two and all?
I think that the trend is what we've seen before. There's mobile everything. Tablets are established. There's this ongoing, I don't want to say debate between phones versus tablets. They're both used for different purposes.
This is the problem of doing an interview on the trade show floor. Keep going. Yeah. Back to mobile.
Both are useful in the right circumstances for the right job, and people with responsive design have systems that will adapt to them, and it's theoretically possible to run a whole PMS on a phone, but you wouldn't want to do that. Right. But there are some PMS functions you can do, which is very convenient to. That's kind of a given. There's always one technology at HITEC which everybody seems to be offering. This year it's all around guest experience management. There's at least a dozen vendors here offering ways for the guests to interact with the hotel before arrival, during a stay, post stay. And I'm seeing there's a lot of overlap between what they're doing. I'm still trying to work out how this is really going to work out in practice, given that you really need to have something that is wider ranging than just one app for one property.
Right.
I don't want, for example, we go to a lot of conferences. Typically, if I'm working with, let's say with a hotel chain like Starwood, which I'm sometimes am, I can go through, I can book my hotel through there. When I get to the property, there's probably a property app that will allow me to do guest service ordering while I'm there.
Right.
If I'm at the convention, there's probably a convention app.
Yes.
Where I get to my agenda and the meeting room layouts and so on from that. And there might be a different one that sends me a survey afterwards.
Right.
They should all be on one app, really. I think there's a real opportunity here for the chains to expand their loyalty apps so that they can be linked into the systems at the property level, and I don't need separate ones for each event I go to at each hotel I go to. What I really would like takes one step further and is as an app that goes across brands.
Right.
And we've talked about this before, and it's going to be difficult to put in place because every brand wants to put their logo on your phone. But I think if we get somebody, the one player I'm still waiting to hear from in this space is Apple, because their iTravel app, I think probably, they have the clout, the presence and the cool factor that people would want to use it.
Right.
And I think if they can come out with something that crosses brands, we may see a lot more not wider ranging applications that many travelers would love.
Yeah, but see, my argument there, mobile apps, whatever it might be, everything you see emerging today, if you were going to guess, is it going to be viable a year from now or 2 years from now?
Yeah.
Who the heck knows? I mean, it's interesting. Though I got to give HFTP credit for their app. They didn't have an app for the show.
Right.
They used
it's
a
website.
site. Yeah, it's a website, which of course, I thought it worked out really, really well.
Yeah,
so,
that was
I
good.
used it a lot too.
Okay.
It's kind of weird.
Yeah.
Is there anything else that you'd like to share with the audience as far as?
Well, there's one technology I hear a lot about, and I'm still wondering, are we doing this for technology's sake, which is the use of the phone as your key to get into your room. There's been several ways of doing this, NFC near field communications for some phones, but Apple doesn't do that. Bluetooth is there, RFID cards are okay. OpenWays has the acoustic coupler. There's lots of different ways to do this, and the avowed intent of this, and the one expressed by a lot of people that we've talked to at conventions, is they want to bypass the front desk and go straight to their room and use their phone to check in. But you really can't bypass the front desk. You can't in Europe, where they need to check your ID and scan your passport. Most hotel chains want to check your ID before they'll let you in anyway.
Yep.
So once you have to go to some extent to have your ID checked. What are you really saving by using the phone? I'm not sure I get it. It's
well,
one extra step.
People have been talking about it for a while, but it seems like it's something that just sounds good, but the reality, is it ever going to happen to, I mean, people, listen, the travelers want a quick check-in. They don't want to wait online to check in, but do they really need to bypass? I'm not sure.
No, and if there's a fast way of doing it, maybe using your phone to scan at the kiosk and get your key, fine.
Something like that.
But I did bring this up in a discussion yesterday, that if I'm, say, with a family with kids and I'm down at the pool, don't want to give my young daughter my phone to go back to the room and get something. And the audience response was, she doesn't have her own phone?
Good point, though.
Okay. But then if you go that route, you need to register all your family's phones as potential keys when you check in, and that's tedious.
Well, I do see the phones happening, or at least being constantly developed as a solution, but reality is it's how long it's been talked about and how little progress we've made. I'm not sure it's going to be viable until something else happens down the road and all that, which is kind of cool following technology. Yeah,
that's what we do.
Okay, are there any other closing notes you want to share with us as far as your experience here in LA this year?
No, I think it's just been a great show. The venue is good. The hotels were convenient, at least the ones I was at. Yep. And reception parties were just as well attended and noisy as ever. Did you do the party circuit again? Afraid so. Okay. Afraid so. Not as many as I used to do when I was much younger.
I'll be the first to admit it. Maybe I'm getting older. I don't know, but it's no more 1 o'clock in the morning drinking with me. I mean, I was, I kind of focus more on the next day than I did the nights, which is kind of nice.
As far as you can focus at all.
Yeah, really, actually. Okay. Well, thank you very, very much. It's
You're
always
welcome.
great to do this. The last day of HITEC. It's kind of good to share with the audience, your experience here, the things that you've seen and all that. And you want to add one last words, and I know you didn't bring it up, but the buzz on Monday morning was the whole Oracle acquiring Micros, which was
I thought you were going to say the World Cup.
Yeah, oh yeah, don't even talk about the World Cup. But no, and I thought it was interesting because it was a little bit of a buzz, but you know what, I think immediately nothing's going to change dramatically in 6 months or a year.
Not
but
immediately.
it's good for conversation just about how the hotel and travel industry is being looked at from the mainstream media now.
Right, no, I think it was a good indication that this is a valuable industry, that the vendors in here have significant worth. It wasn't entirely unpredictable. Microsoft has been using Oracle for a long time, and Oracle has acquired people that it's seen as being successful on its products before. And I think there could be some synergies there. Priceline's acquisition of 3 different companies the week before HITEC was equally interesting, and I'm really fascinated to see where they're going.
Yeah.
But I also think this kind of consolidation is helpful because it kind of lifts some of the previously widely used players a little out of the mainstream because they're now associated with other people. And I think it opens up a lot of room for innovative people to step in. I've seen a lot of very interesting refinements of specific processes. People focusing on really streamlining the check-in process or check-out or room assignments. There's some interesting apps there that operate on a very minute level to really get things more efficient. And I think if we can see some of these expanding out more into wider areas, there's a little more room there than there was last week. But it's nice to see the industry being valued properly.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Okay, well again, thank you. Thank you for joining us here on the showroom floor, the last 30 minutes of HITEC 2014. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.